Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Okay, so today we are going to do the solution of quiz number 3, fall 2016. This one I have sent to you during the weekend to do it. I don't know if you have any question or faced any problem in this one. Who did this at home? Who did it? Only? Okay. So in this quiz we will develop some parts of the Traveler Tour application. First question is about the city factory pattern. You need to create an interface, city factory, that contains one method, getCity, that should return a newly created city object that corresponds to the city name parameter when implemented in the class. Write the interface city factory. Okay, so let's do that. We have here 3 packages, one for class implementation, one for our utilities, and other one for interfaces. So we have here city factory, which is the interface that we need to do. Okay, so let's make an interface here called city factory. Okay. And then this interface will have just one method that is called getCity and city name. Okay, and later on we will use this interface to implement it in a class. So here we have public abstract getCity, and it returns a city. Okay, that is the interface. Then write the class city factory IMPL that implements the interface that we have created now. Only 4 cities can be created: Jeddah, Mecca, Medina, and Riyadh. Only these 4 cities. The method should return an object city with the name provided as parameter and with the corresponding GPS coordinates. Okay, so these are the GPS coordinates for every city that we are going to use in the city factory IMPL. So I remind that the factory pattern, it is used in order to create objects, and then we use this pattern later on to create objects, for example, in other classes. So we will have now the method, we will implement the method getCity in order to return a city object, okay, that corresponds to one of the cities provided here as information. Okay, so let's go to city factory IMPL here. We already have the class created, and we already have a string of the different cities that we are allowed to create. So it says here that the class city factory IMPL must be singleton. So let's get started with this one. So we know the 3 things that we need to define for a singleton class. First, we need to have a private constructor. Okay, so city factory IMPL, just an empty constructor, but it is private. Okay, city factory here. We need to create an instance, a private static city factory. I'm going to use here the interface and not the class to use polymorphism. And then I'm going to create an instance here, equal new, and then I will call the constructor of the class that is private. So I will import this one, exam name.
Without implementing the interface?
No, we have to, here, yeah, we have to implement, yes. First thing we need to implement city factory, yes. And this is why it was wrong here. So now it's correct because city factory is already now, yes. And then task create city method. Of course, let's override the methods here. Okay, so getCity will be overridden now, and it must return a city depending on which value we do have here.
Now, did not specify if we can use the lazy.
Yes, here we need to make one more thing, that is public static city factory get instance, and then we return the instance. So this is early instantiation. Okay. Now we are done with the singleton pattern. We have the three things here. Okay. So now for the factory pattern, it has a method usually that will return an object. So let's do it here. If city name dot equal ignore case Riyadh. So in this case, we will create an object of Riyadh city. Okay, of Riyadh city. I will do that. Else, if it is, for example, here, Medina. Okay, we will create an object later. So we have two other cities here. Yes. And we have Jeddah here. Okay. So as if we don't have anything, we're going to return none. So now we will return new city IMPL, and let's see now city IMPL, what does it have? So the constructor here says that we have a string parameter that is the name of the city, and then a location of type coordinate. Coordinate, by the way, is an interface that extends coordinate to D, and coordinate to D is just having X and Y values. And the class here that we are going to use is the class GPS that implements coordinate. So GPS is the class that we are going to use to create a location. Okay, to create a location here. So first of all, we will specify the name, and then we will specify a new GPS, and then we put the GPS coordinate. So let me bring all of these coordinates here. So this is for Riyadh. I'm going to put it here. Change this by Yarhamukallah. Okay, this is for Medina, this is for Mecca, and this is now for, I need just to change everyone by its corresponding values. So this is for Medina here, and this is for Jeddah here. No, for Jeddah is here, and for Mecca it is here. So now we are done. We are done with the singleton, we are done with the factory. So both are in the same class. It's possible to have something like this. Now,
Can I combine the factory and singleton pattern in one method?
when in one method.
So
There are two different patterns. Everyone has its own methods. This is for the singleton, and this is for the factory. واضح? Okay. So the next is to create generic map interface that contains the three methods add, remove, and delete. So let's do it here. We have generic map, an interface, public interface generic map, KV, and we have three methods. To create. So maybe I can add public abstract here, although it's optional. It's not bad to add it. So this is the interface now that was created here. We will create the interface, and then the country interface make necessary change to country interface so that it becomes generic map, where the key has a string and the value is a city itself. Okay, so we go now to country here, right? Country interface. And we do here X stands generic map, the key is a string and the value is city. Okay, that's all what we need to do. We don't need to do anything more. So now let's look at the country IMPL class. You will complete the missing code of the country IMPL class. Observe that the country IMPL class has an attribute cities that represents a map structure of cities. By the way, tomorrow in the quiz you may have map or string or set and everything. So we did a lot of example on this. Okay, where the key is the name of the city and the value is the city itself. Okay, so let's observe this one here. We have country IMPL. It has an attribute map string cities, and this is a hash map. And also it has another attribute. There is also a factory object to create new city object. This is the factory object, city factory, which I need to import. Okay, equal city factory IMPL.get instance, because we use the singleton pattern here. And then write the method load from file. Okay, string file that reads the name of the cities from Saudi Arabia.txt provided to you, and add these cities into the city map structure. We're going to read from the file, and for every name of the city we're going to create an object inside and then put it into the city map. Okay, so what is the file now? This is the file structure. So let's take it from here. So I'm going to put it in the other package. So it's just a simple file containing 4 methods: Jeddah, Mecca, Medina, and Riyadh. So we're going to read, for example, if I read Jeddah, I'm going to create a new object using the factory and then put it into the map. That's all the thing we need to do here. Okay, so let's do it.
Maybe an excuse for the
Yes. So first of all, let's implement all the abstract methods. We'll do this later. Let's now load from the file. So in order to load from the file, of course, first we need to create a scanner, equal a new scanner, and inside we create a new file, and inside we create the file name. Okay, we need to import file, import scanner, and then I will need to surround with the try and catch. Okay, so let me do here file not found exception. So what to do here? We will do while sc.has next. We're going to read line by line. Okay, so let's read the line. Line string line equal sc dot next line. So let me check whether I'm reading correctly the file or not. So I'm going to execute country test. So I'm going just to run load from file method and check whether everything is correct. So now I'm reading all of these ones. Of course, now I need to read these values, Jeddah, Mecca, and so on. But the problem is that I have a semicolon here. I need to remove it. There are different ways that we can do. We can make split and take the first element in the array, okay? Or we can also do a substring. I can do city name equal line dot substring starting from 0 and until the line dot length -1. So I'm going to remove just the last value. I can actually check now what will be the output of city name. I will close the output of line here. And now I got the city name without the semicolon. Other? Okay. So let's continue. Now I have the city name. What I should do next is to create an object for that city name. Okay, so let's create an object city equal what? Now we are going to use the factory. We will use the factory. Okay, because factory is, we're not going to use equal new city impl and so on. No, we want to simplify our life. We're going to use cf dot get. Yes, and here we will use city name. Okay, so it's going to create an object for us, and then this object must be added into the map using dot put. Okay, so city name is the key and city is the value. Okay, who did that correctly? Is there anyone? Very simple, you see. Okay, so we read from the file, we take the city name, we create the city, and then we put it inside the map. Okay, that's all. Now we want a method to check that the map, okay, to display all the cities in the map. There are different ways. I'm going to show you different ways. So here it says, write the method display cities that displays all the name of the cities, and you must use an iterator. So when I say I must use an iterator, so this must be done, because in this case the answer will be considered as wrong. So let's do it with an iterator. I'm going to do in two different ways with iterator. One, I will do it with an iterator on the keys, and in the second time I will do it with an iterator on the values. Okay, so let me do an iterator on the keys. String, because the keys are of type string. It equal, so cities is the map. I want to get all the keys using key set. Okay, so this takes all the keys as a set, and then I can apply iterator to get all the iterators of the keys. So this is going to make me an iterator. So we have, this is a map. I have here a key, and I have here, so my key is a string, and my value here is city. Okay, for example, I have here Riyadh, and I have here city, مثلا Riyadh, and different coordinates. Okay, I have here Mecca, and I have here city object of Mecca and its coordinates, and so on. So key set is going to return all the keys, and dot iterator is going to have an iterator pointing to the first value in the set. And then it goes one by one. So what we will do here, since we have an iterator on the keys, we will do while it dot has next. So this is why I told you have to do this at home. And if you don't try it, tomorrow you will try it. Okay? Okay, so it.hasNext. First of all, we need to take the value of the city. Okay, so city name. What is the city name now? What is the city name? If you have an iterator here, so the city name is it.next is going to return this value, and then it will jump to the next line. This is what I told you. صح ولا? Okay, this is what I told you. So it's going to be it.next. So I get the city name, and it jumps to the next value, and then I will take the city equal what? I will take it from the map. Cities dot get city name. We can also do it.next. صح ولا? No. This is wrong. This is wrong. لأنه this is going to jump one of them. This is why it's important that we take a copy and then we use the copy without calling again it.next. Otherwise, we're going to jump one value. Okay, so pay attention to this one. This is a common error. يحسب أنه دائما it.next is going to return the same thing inside the loop. No. Every time you call it.next, it's going to jump. So you will miss one value if you don't do it in this way. Okay, so and then we can print s out city. So, okay, I can do if I want city name plus city. Anyway, city we're going to have the toString method. So just to show the value. Okay, I need to remove the print here and then allow the display cities here to see it. Okay, so this is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. Now
For the iterator and the loop, can I erase the city name and just use its.next in the cities.get?
name.
In the while loop, yeah. Can I just erase this line, the line 67?
Like this.
Yeah.
And you
I
do,
just use-
you can do, but you'll not be okay. You can, then you do city.city name. It's possible to do like something like here, and then you do here city.get name. It's possible. Okay, it's possible. Yes. Okay, another way that we can do it, I'm going to do another way. I'm going to call it display city2. Instead of making on the keys, I can do it also on the values. Cities dot values dot, because value it's a collection of city. Now I can do an iterator on this one. Okay, and here it's an iterator of what? City, because the values of are of type city, not string. Okay, so while it.hasNext is the same, I can do city is equal, not this one, I can just do it.next. Okay, because now it is going to point where? To the values. Look now, it's like we have an iterator here. So it's pointing to the value. It's pointing to the value. So when I do it.next, it's going to return this object and then it jumps to the next one. Okay, so this is what does it mean? cities.values.iterator here. So I can take it.next as the city, then I can get the city name and then the city value. I can test this one here. I can put display city2 and execute. It's already created. Okay, now I get it. Okay, so now it gets the same display. Okay, yes, these are the different questions. Now what it remains to override all the different methods. So now if I want to get the cities, what should I do? Return what? Collection of cities from the map. So now we have a map that contains all the cities. I want just to have the collection of cities. Yes. So I can do cities dot values. Display cities map name. All the names.
The key set.
I can do like this one. And then I just city name. I can just print city name here. Okay. Get city by name. Return cities dot
Key set.
now.
Get.
The name is a key. Yes, we use get name, and we can have the object of type city. Sahula. Get object by name. Okay, city by name. Okay, we can use the name as the key to return the city object. Add. So I want to add a city inside the cities map. How to do that? Cities dot la dot put. So what to put as a name?
Cities dot get name.
V dot get name, and the city here is the parameter itself. And so now remove city of V. So if I want to remove from the map, how to remove? I need to specify what? The key or the value?
The key.
The key, of course. If I know the key, I know the value. It's not the opposite. So now I need to specify the keys. So cities dot remove what? What to put here? What is the key? V dot get name. Okay, because the key here is the name. Okay, so if I specify remove Riyadh, it's going to remove all of this one. Okay, to remove it. But I need to specify the key value, the key itself, and delete. So delete here. I will give the key. So cities dot remove k, because k is actually the string that represents the city name. So the last thing that remains here is the save to file. I want to save into a file all the information that are in the map. Look, we have now a map, and the map contains all this information. I want just to store in a file, for example, Riyadh, okay, and then take latitude and then longitude, put it into a line, and then we do the same thing for Mecca, and do the same thing for all the different all the different values in the map. So what we will do here, we need also to make an iterator. Okay, we can do an iterator here on the keys. So let me take the same iterator here. So while it dot has next, let's take the two values. I want to store also the longitude and the latitude. Okay, so double latitude equal what? ct dot get location dot get x, and then double longitude equal ct dot get location dot get y. So now I have everything. I have city name, I have latitude, I have longitude. I can do a string now. I will call it log equal, it's empty in the beginning, and then I can do log equal. So it's equal city name plus, I can put semicolon here, plus latitude plus semicolon plus longitude plus semicolon, and then I have to add return to line. And finally, okay, to save to file I need to create a file writer. Sahula equal a new file writer, new file, and here I will have to have a file. So I need to make between try catch. So let me take all of this and put it here between the try catch. Here out file exception. What's the problem? Unsupported exception. It's already supported.
No, after the while.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, so are you following? So we are FW here. When we finish the log, what we do? FW dot write log. And when we finish after the while, we do FW dot close. Other? So now we have everything in place. We can just try to run save to file. Okay. Let me call it log.txt. I can execute, and then I can open log.txt, and I can find why I have only two.
Yeah, because the iterator uses two times. Yeah.
Well, it has next.
And city plus city.
كم رقم صفر. Yes. I did. Yes. Okay, so you can see now the effect of making this. Now we have the 4 city store. Now imagine that we want to read from this file. We will have problem. لأنه قبل قلنا أنه we take the line length -1. So it's going to take the whole all of this. صح ولا؟ نعم. لا في طريقة أخرى أفضل. So now for example if I make log.txt, I might have a problem. I will have a problem. Okay. لأنه الآن here when I read from the file, load from file, what is this? Close all. Yeah. I'm using substring here, line length -1. So in the previous case, it was okay. In the previous case, it was okay لأنه we had only the names of the cities. Now we have the names and also the GPS coordinates. Okay? So, okay, we can do split, but what we can do also, instead of making length -1, we can do dot index of semicolon. So index of is going to return the first occurrence. Even if we have so many, it's going to return the first occurrence. So in this case, it will return
Doctor, isn't this
until here, substring until here, because the index of the semicolon is going to be the first one. Okay, so it's going to be now fine if I execute. Even if I execute on the log.txt that contains all the information, if I run, no problem at all. It will load and will save the information again in the same file. Is it clear?
What about the rest, the longitude and latitude?
Hmm?
What about the longitude and the altitude?
Yeah, here, because in the load, we're going to use the factory pattern, which only needs the city name. Okay? And the longitude and latitude are already encoded inside the factory pattern. So I don't, even if they exist in the log file, I don't need to write them, to read them. واضح?
Yes.
Okay, so this is why.
So why did you write the log in the writer?
Where?
In the writer method?
Yes, here.
Yes.
This one.
Log.
Look, this is a string. ممكن نسميه حتى S لو أردت.
To combine.
It's a string that contains all the information of one city in a line. And then I will write this one into a file. When I finish everything, I close the file. Okay, fw.close. Okay, and the output will be this one. It contains the name of the city, the latitude, and the longitude, and all of them are separated by semicolon. Okay, so this is an example on how to read from a file and how to write. So you must understand what is the structure, how to extract the data. We did so many examples, so it should be easy for you to do so. Is it clear? Okay. Any question? Okay, it is fine.